सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। शुकासारिखे पूर्णवैराग्यजाचे वसिष्ठा परिज्ञानयोगेश्वराचे कवी वाल्मिका सारिखा मान्य ऐसा नमस्कार माझा तया रामदासा। गणाधीश जो ईश सर्वा गुणांचा मुळारंभ आरंभ तो निर्गुणाचा। नमो शारदा मूळचत्वार वाचा गमो पंथानंत या राघवाचा। जय जय रघुवीर समर्थ. We were seeing in the last session, Samarth Ramdas Swami has given so many stories as examples to prove that Bhagavan always takes care of his devotees. And in the process, he has also described all the 10 main avatars, what we say Dashavatara of Bhagavan Shri Mahavishnu, from the lens of how he took avatar to save devotees. So that portion we had seen. And therefore, he concluded by saying, such God, when he takes such human forms or even some other forms like Matsya Kurma, etc., for the sake of devotees, there are still people who do not recognize that God in that form. They don't have faith in that God. They rather doubt, sometimes even criticize. Such people are paparupi, he says. They are the embodiments of sin. And therefore, they will never progress further. They will go, in the deeper darkness. They will have more and more negativities, in them. But then, what should I do? So he says the way to recognize God, the way to have that faith and devotion for God is to have company of saints. So he starts to describe how are the saints. Jagi dhanyato Rama sukhe nivala. They always resort to Shrirama. Katha aikata sarvatallina jhala. They listen to the stories of Shrirama and they become one with it. Dehe bhavana Rama bodhe udali. The identification with the body, attachment with the body goes away. Manovasana Rama rupi budali. And even the strong desires, deep-rooted inclinations, vasanas also are gone, are merged in Sri Ram. Therefore, he says, O my mind, may your vasanas remain in Vasudeva. Right? Vasanat Vasudevasya Vasitam Bhuvanatrayam. We were seeing in the last session. Isn't it? Sarva Bhuta Nivasosi. Vasudeva Namostute. So, Mana kamana kamasangi nasode. O my mind, may the desires not remain in the world of objects, but may it become one with God. Mana kalpana vaugi te na kije. O mind, do not have all these kind of negative desires. Mana sajjana sajjani vasti kije. O my mind, you are sajjana. And therefore what you should do? You should remain with sajjana. Be in the company of saints. Why? What happens when you are there? Gati karane sangati sajjanachi. Sajjanachi sangati, company of saints, gati karane, results in our progress in the path of spirituality. Mati palate, sumati durjanachi. Mati palate. Even the wicked, when they come in contact with saints, their mind changes. We see in the story of Ratnakar, in the company of Naradji, his mind changes and then he becomes Maharshi Valmiki. We have another story of Angulimala. When he came in contact with Gautama Buddha, his entire mind, his entire thinking, attitude, everything changed. Wicked person killing people for fun, cutting their fingers and wearing mala with that Angulimala. But when he came in contact with Gautama Buddha, he explained to him that to destroy is easy, to cut is easy, to unite, to join, to help someone grow is difficult. And therefore, when he came in contact with such great person, his entire mind changed. Right? And therefore, this is what Satsanga does. It helps us to progress on the spiritual path. It helps us to transform our attitude, our mind. Rati नायिकेचा पती नष्ट आहे, म्हणोनी मना अतीत होवो निराहे. He says, Rati नायिकेचा, this husband of Rati, Pati means husband. Husband of this Rati Devi, that is Kamadeva, Nashta Ahe, he is a very dangerous fellow. Manoni Mana, therefore, O mind, Atita Hovo Nirahe, remain beyond all that. See, with mind, we say we have to do 4 things. All 4 start with T. Train, tune, transform and transcend. Train, tune, transform and transcend. First we need to train the mind to walk the path of spirituality. Then we have to tune the mind to God. Then we have to transform the mind through knowledge. And then finally transcend the mind by self-knowledge. So, train, tune, transform and transcend. 4 things we have to do with mind. And that will happen in that step only. 1 step at a time. Don't expect that now I am going to transcend my mind. No. Start with the first one. Slowly go to that level where you can transcend the mind. Right? And therefore, work on this. How it will happen? In satsanga it will start. The same train, tune and transform can be result of karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga also. Right? In karma yoga we give training to change the attitude. In bhakti yoga we get tuned to Lord. And in jnana yoga we start practicing the transformation. Jnana yoga, the path is what? Introspect and detect and all these things. Understand what is your negativity, start working on that. This is called transformation. And then transcending happens at the final stage of self-knowledge. Do this. Mana alpa sankalpa tohi nasava. Please don't say that, I only one bad thought, how does it matter? No, even one single thought is sufficient to create destruction. Therefore, sada satya sankalpa chitti vasava. Therefore, you should always keep that thought of goodness in your mind. Jani jalpa vikalpa tohi tejava. Even the so-called dialogue or arguments, disputes, Tyajava should be given up. Ramakanta ekanta kali bhajava. And what you should do? You should ekanta kali. Ekanta kali means in solitude. Bhajava, you should worship whom? Ramakanta. Ramakanta is Bhagavan Shri Vishnu, who is the husband of Rama. Remember him. That is the only thing you should do. Right? Now he continues. Why should I worship Bhagavan only? You said no, in solitude remember Bhagavan or worship Bhagavan. Bhajava. Why? Next verse he explains. Let us see. Verse 131. Bhajaya jani pahata rama eku, kari bana eku, mukhi shabda eku, kriya pahata uddhare sarvaloku, dhara janaki nayakacha viveku. Jai Jai Raghuvira Samartha. Samarth Ramdas Swami says, Jani Pahata, when you see the world, Bhajaya Rama Eku. To worship, there is nobody other than Sri Ram. Whom will you worship in the world? Each person, though good, will have some kind of negativity. Isn't it? There are many people who, see, whatever they like, no? Whatever field they are interested in, they will start saying that, what a great personality that is. Some people, in the music field, they will start saying that this singer, this musician is like God of music. And it is like this, it is like that. Look at the compositions, etc. But if you really see, sometimes their life is not that great. Yes, they are great musicians. And therefore, when they are in that field, when they are singing, when they are creating music, they are great, but their life is not something that we like to worship. Some people in the sports field, they say, oh, he is a god of sports. But you won't find a single perfect person in the entire world other than Sri Rama, who lived as a Purushottama, perfect human being in all aspects. Whether he acted as a son or husband or brother, even as enemy, you will not find a better human being. So, Bhajaya jani pahata Rama eku. There is only one Rama. Eku means one. There is only one Sri Rama who is worthy of worship. In the entire world, there is nobody else. Why you think so? Kari bana eku. Mukhi shabda eku. He has only one arrow. What do you mean by one arrow? Bhagavan Sri Rama is described sometimes as Ekabani, Ekavachani, Ekapatni. You might have heard this description of Sri Rama. Ekabani means what? One arrow is sufficient for him to destroy anyone. It is even in the story it is said that Bhagavan Sri Rama, when he used that bana to kill Vali, that arrow was still with him. There is one very interesting story. When Hanumanji took Sri Rama and Lakshmana to Sugriva and explained that this is not an enemy, but this can be our potential friend. They are the sons of Dasharatha and they are here. They need some help. You need help to get your kingdom back. Why don't you have friendship and fulfill each other's wishes? So Sugriva listens to the whole story of Sri Rama, feels sad for him that his wife is kidnapped, explains to him his story of how Vali took away his kingdom and threw him out for no fault of his. He just did what his elder brother wanted, but still he had to suffer. So both had sympathies for each other. And Sugriva offered that I have so many Vanaras with me, and if you help me defeat Vali, we will have the entire Vanar Sena with me. Then I will help you in finding out Sitaji. Sri Rama agreed. But Sugriva had little doubt whether, you see, we both share some kind of sorrow. We both have separation from our wife, for no fault of ours. They have been taken away from us. We share a lot of things. Therefore, there is common interest and therefore we should make friendship with each other and help each other. But the question is, will you be able to help me? You want to help me, okay. I want your help, that is also okay. But will you be able to help me? Why? Because Sugriva knew that Vali is very strong. He is our own brother, no? He has full knowledge of how strong Vali is. And Vali had that extra boon. Whoever goes in front of him to fight, to have a fight, half of his strength also comes to Vali. Vali is already very strong. Plus half of the opponent's strength also comes to Vali. So he had little doubt that this is a good person, I want to help, he wants to help, but will he be able to help? Right? And of course, Bhagavan, shows him that story is there, that Tala Vriksha is there, huge trees in the forest. And he says, if you can cut that Vriksha in one arrow, I will believe that you have some strength with you. So what Shrirama does is, he cuts 7 Tala Vrikshas in one arrow, and that arrow comes back to him. It is also said that Rakshasa whom Vali had killed, with his toe, finger of one leg, he just pushes and that carcass is thrown away. So Vali has just killed, but you see the strength of Shrirama. Sugriva understands. Sugriva says that okay, now I believe you will be able to do that. And we know the story, what happens. Sugriva goes and fights with Vali, and then Shrirama comes to help and he kills the Vali. He kills Vali, and then after that entire kingdom comes to Sugriva. But for a long time, Sugriva forgets his part of the agreement. Now he has got kingdom back, he has got his wife back, so he starts to enjoy there in that kingdom, forgetting that he has to help Shrirama. And Shrirama is staying in forest still. He is not supposed to stay in any kingdom. So he stays outside, and long time there is no movement from Sugriva. Nothing he is doing to help. So Lakshmana also is getting angry a little bit that, he promised and we helped him, and now it is his time and he is not helping. So finally one day, Shrirama calls Lakshmana and says, you go as a messenger to Vali as a friend and remind him what he has promised. Tell him that it's been 3-4 months and you have not done anything. But as he was sent, he gives one message to Vali through Lakshmana. And Lakshmana goes there, not Vali, to Sugriva, to Sugriva. And Lakshmana goes there to meet Sugriva. As he is entering in, only Sugriva starts to feel that now something bad is going to happen. He knows Lakshmana, how Lakshmana is. And he starts to arrange, he tells Hanumanji, please make some arrangement. I think Lakshmana and his brother are angry. Hanumanji says, I am telling you for a long time, do your part of agreement, you are not doing it. So now face. So it is said he goes and talks to Lakshmana, and Lakshmana tells him, reminds him all these things and gives that message to Sugriva. Very beautiful message. Shrirama says, Sugriva, the arrow with which, I uprooted the 7 Tala Vrikshas, and the same arrow which I used to kill Vali is still with me. He is not threatening, but he is threatening. That arrow is still with me. Don't make me use that arrow on you. Better you do your part of agreement. So, Ekabani, one arrow is sufficient. Ekavachani, when he says something, he will do it. Ekavachani. Mukhi Shabda Eku. Not that to one person he will say one thing, to another person he will say something else and will not follow anyone. No. Ekavachani. And Ekapatni, married only one. Veji, what is a big deal about it? No, that time it was a big deal. Kings can marry, would marry so many, women. Not only for their enjoyment, also for protection. Also sometimes for some kind of alliance with other kingdom. There used to be so many reasons why they would marry more than one woman. But Bhagavan Sri Rama did not. Even later on, when it was necessary for him to do one yajna and wife was not there with him, he made a statue of Sitaji, gold statue of Sitaji, and did the yajna, but he did not get married. Ekavachani, Ekabani, Ekapatni. That is what Sri Rama is, and therefore in the entire world there is nobody who is as good as Bhagavan to worship. Therefore, Kriya Pahata Uddhare Sarvaloku. Not only that, you see his activities, you see how he lived. Uddhari Sarvaloku. He has uplifted all the worlds. He has helped everyone. Kriya Pahata. See his actions. They often say, if you want to see how an individual's ideal life is, we must see the life of Sri Rama. Also they say, you follow Sri Rama's life and Sri Krishna's words, teachings. Don't try to follow Sri Krishna's life. It won't be possible. But Sri Rama's life is ideal life which individual can follow. Why? That was the Avatara Karya. Sri Krishna's Avatara Karya was different. He came to show the power of God. So he didn't live like a human being or anything. He continuously, manifested those kind of powers and magical things as Sri Krishna. That's what his job was in that avatar. But in Sri Rama Avatara, he lived an ideal human life. Therefore, get this into your mind. Dhara Janaki Nayakacha Viveku. Therefore, in your mind, see this greatness, glory of Janaki Nayaka. Janaki Nayaka is Bhagavan Sri Rama only, husband of Janaki. By this Janaki Nayaka, Samarth Ramdas Swami has said Ekapatni. You see there, Ekabani, Ekavachani is explained in the second line. Fourth line explains Ekapatni by this Janaki Nayaka. Right? And therefore, have this Viveka, have this clear-cut thinking and focus on worshipping Sri Rama. Now, why should you worship? You see, mind always wants to have some kind of idol. That's the nature of mind. And therefore, what mind does is, it finds an idol which intellect helps to find, and once that mind finds that idol, it starts to imitate the idol. See, right from childhood, you must have seen even children, for that child, mother and father, parents are the idols. The child has not seen anything else. So what the child does, child starts to imitate what the parents are doing. Their actions, their words, their walking, everything the child starts to imitate. Why? Because mind always likes to follow. When the child grows little bit, starts going to school, etc., teacher, etc., become idol. Then teacher becomes idol, then starts to imitate the teacher. So many times we all must have also done, no? Even as children, when we didn't have specs also, we will take specs and we will wear. Why? Because the teacher is wearing specs. And how the teacher sits and teaches, that is how I will sit and act as though I am teaching. Then as you keep on growing further, mind starts to find different idols. And unknowingly starts to imitate them. Now Samarth Ramdas Swami says, if you want to find idol, there is no better idol than Sri Rama. Why? Because if you imitate, if you follow the path of Sri Rama, you will be in good hands. You will progress well. That's why he says here, Kriya Pahata. Look at the life of Sri Rama. Keep him as idol. Why? Bhajaya Jani Pahata Rabe. Who else is there in the world whom you can worship? So do like this. So this is also a technique given for mind to become better. Right? That is what he says. Now what next? He continues. Verse number 132. Vicharuni bole vivanchuni chale तयाचे निसंतप्त तेही निवाले बरे शोधल्या वीण बोलो नको हो जनी चालणे शुद्ध नेमस्तरा हो. जय जय रघुवीर समर्थ. Marathi there is one word called bolchal. Bolchal, literally it means bolne means to speak, chalne means to walk. But bolchal doesn't mean to speak and to walk. What it means is how to live, how your conduct should be, how your behavior should be. And that is what he says here, vicharoni bole. Think and then speak. Vivanchuni chale. And then do vivechana. Vivechana means make it a habit of thinking whether this is right thing or this is not right. Have that kind of sara viveka to understand what is sara essential, asara what is not essential. I am walking the path of spirituality. Which action is good for me, which is not good for me, which is the one that I should take up, which is the one I should avoid. This kind of viveka you do, vivechana you do, and chale, and walk accordingly. Walk accordingly means act accordingly. So think before you speak about what to speak, etc. And also have this clear-cut understanding before you act. Tayacheni santapta tehi nivale. If you behave like this, then even if people around you are disturbed, they will also become quiet because of your quietude. See, in life, often it happens that we say something without thinking and then we keep on repenting about it, saying that why did I speak? I should not have said. And those people who always say something without thinking will always be agitated, and the people around them also will remain agitated because they won't know what to expect today. For anything they will have any anger and they will start talking anything. Some simple thing has happened and they will say, nobody is like this and why I told you. If a person speaks without thinking, then neither the person can remain quiet and happy, nor can the people around him remain quiet and happy. On the other hand, if you think and then speak, then what happens? Then you also remain calm, and the people around you, even if they are agitated, when they come in contact with you, they will become calm. Therefore, vicharuni bole, vivanchuni chale. Baresho, now he has said the positive side of it, that think before you speak and understand before you act. Now he says the negative side of it. Bareshodalya veena bolo nako. Do not open your mouth unless you have done enough thinking. Jani chalane shuddha nemastaraho. And in the world, your behavior, your action should be shuddha. Shuddha means pure. And nemasta. Nemasta means disciplined. So this bolchal, which I was talking about, how should be my conduct? My conduct should be like this. Whenever I have to speak, I must think and then speak. And whenever I have to do something, act on something, I must understand and have that pure disciplined actions. There is a Subhashita which says, Avicharyam na vaktavyam, vaktavyam suvicharitam, kincha tatraiva vaktavyam, yatroktam saphalam bhavet. Beautiful Subhashita. It says, Avicharyam na vaktavyam. Do not speak without thinking. Vaktavyam suvicharitam. Do the correct and complete thinking, then you speak. Kincha further, tatraiva vaktavyam. You should speak only at that place. Yatra uktam saphalam bhavet. Where whatever you have said will be fruitful. If it is going to go waste, don't speak. If the person is not going to listen to you anyways, don't speak. Why waste your energy and become disturbed and create disturbance in other people's mind also? Don't do all these things. So think before you speak, understand before you act. This is a simple technique that Samarth Ramdas Swami is telling. This is also a simple technique of keeping mind calm. Your mind also and other people's mind also. That is what you should do. Right? Now he continues further. What? Sajjana. Topic is that you should have satsanga. How is that sajjana? Beautiful explanation. Let us see. Verse number 133. Hari bhakta virakta vijnana rashi jene manasi sthapile nishchayasi taya darshane sparshane punya jode taya bhashane nashta sandeha mode. Jai Jai Raghuvir Samartha. Aha. Hari Bhakta Virakta Vijnana Rashi. Three qualities are mentioned here which are considered to be the most important qualities on spiritual path. Bhakti, Vairagya and Jnana. You take out any Vedantic text, if you analyze the text properly, these are the three sadhanas, means that they will say are must. Hari Bhakta, he is a Bhakta, he is a devotee. Virakta, Virakta means he is a dispassionate, detached person. Vijnana Rashi, and is treasure of knowledge. Say for example, Viveka Chudamani. In Viveka Chudamani, in different parts, you will see Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji explaining the importance of Bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya. In one place, he will say among all the sadhanas, Bhakti is the most important. Isn't it? Moksha sadhana samagrayam bhaktireva gariyasi, he says. Among all the means required for liberation, Bhakti is greatest. In other part, you will see him explaining Jnana and Vairagya as two wings of a bird, and he will say if you do not have those two wings, you will not be able to fly and reach the creeper of mukti. Creeper which is on the terrace of a palace, you will not be able to reach if you do not have these two wings, Jnana and Vairagya. Right? If you see Bhagavat, in Bhagavat, different places again Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya comes. Even in the Bhagavat Mahatmya, in Padma Purana, the glory of Bhagavat which is there comes a story which depicts Bhakti as mother and Jnana and Vairagya as her two children. If you get a chance, you listen to that. All these things, what do they say? Bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya are essential things. See, this Vairagya only is result of Karma Yoga, okay? Don't get confused why suddenly. So basically Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Again, we are stuck with that only. We are talking about that. But this is a different way of explaining. Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, this saint has got. Jene manasi sthapile nishchayasi. And therefore, because of these three sadhanas, what has he achieved? What is the sadhya? Manasi sthapile nishchayasi. He has made his mind abide in that reality. Manasi means mind. Sthapile means abiding, fixing. Nishchayasi, in that determined, that self, in that supreme reality, he has fixed his mind. So Bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya has resulted into this abidance, Atmanishtha, abidance in the self. Such a person is Santa. Such a person is a saint who has the required sadhana, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, and using those sadhanas, he has achieved the sadhya. Now Samarth Ramdas Swami says, such a great saint, Taya Darshane, even if you have a darshana of such a great saint, Sparshane, even if you get touch of this great saint, Punya Jode, you will attain Punya. Such a great saint, what do you mean by that? Two things he is trying to explain. Number one, it is very rare to have darshana and sparshana of such a great saint. Such saints are not readily available. Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye. Yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam vetti tatvatah. Among thousands of seekers, some people put all their efforts. And even among all of them, some rare one realizes the truth. Such people are rare, and therefore even if you get to see them, even if you get to touch them, touch their feet, If that person touches you, you will get lot of punya. Taya bhashane, and if you get to listen to them, nashta sandeha modhe, then all your doubts will be dispelled. All your doubts will be destroyed. See what a beautiful thing. Darshana, Sparshana and Bhashana. Okay? That is what will happen. Therefore, what I should do? Find out such saints and be in their company. That is what you should do. How do I find out saints? Ved, you see, you explained that, okay, Jnana, Vairagya, Bhakti, etc. is there. How do we know whether Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya is there in a person or not? What are his lakshanas? So the lakshanas of the saint are explained in the next verse. See, Samarth Ramdas Swami is following beautiful order of verses. Though I said each verse is independent, but you see there is an order. Now he has explained what is the interior of a saint. Now exterior, what is there? Lakshanas, that he explains. Next verse, let us see. Nase sarvangi, 134. Nase garva angi sada vitaragi kshama shanti bhogi daya daksha yogi nase lobhana kshobhana dainyavana ihi lakshani janize yogirana jai jai Raghuvira Samartha. Beautiful. He says, Nase garva angi. He doesn't have any trace of ego in him. Pride is not there. Sada vitaragi. He is always detached. Vigata raga. Vitaraga. Raga, attachment, craving, desires are gone. So he has no ego and no attachment. Kshama shanti bhogi. Here bhogi doesn't mean he is enjoying. Bhogi means he remains kshama shanti. He remains with kshama. Kshama means forgiveness. And shanti means peace. He forgives and remains in peace. I tell you, every word is so beautiful. Why? You see, kshama is the way to remain in shanti. And therefore you will hear so many great saints talking of daya, kshama, shanti. Tukaram Maharaj also will say daya, kshama, shanti. Right? So here also see daya daksha is coming, daya is coming. Now here kshama and shanti. Kshama is forgiveness. When you forgive, you remain in peace. If you don't forgive, your only mind remains in, agitation, continuously thinking that person did like this, I am not going to forgive. Never forget. Don't forgive, never forget. If that is the thing, then your mind will remain unnecessarily agitated. You want to take revenge. Then you will try to destroy that person will try to destroy you, and kshama, shanti. Daya daksha yogi. And how he is daya daksha? Very beautiful compound word. Daya daksha. He is expert, daksha. Expert in what? Daya, compassion. And such a person is yogi. Such a person is united with that Supreme. Right? So what all things he said? Nase garva angi. There is no ego. Sada vitaragi. No attachment. Kshama shanti bhogi. He has got kshama, shanti and daya. Forgiveness, peace and compassion. Such a person is yogi. Nase lobha. He doesn't have greed. Na kshobha. Kshobha means agitation. Kshobha. Na dainyavana. Not even any kind of lowly feeling, etc. is there. See, this dainyavana can be used as an adjective to kshobha also, but because there is separate na, therefore dainyavana can be used as a separate quality of that santa also, that saint also. Na se lobha, he doesn't have greed. Na kshobha, doesn't have any agitation. Na dainyavana, and he is not miserable. He is never miserable. Ihi lakshani janize yogi rana. By these lakshanas, by these indications, janize, you come to understand what? Yogi rana. Rana means Raja. He is the yogi Raja. He is the king of all yogis. So the saint has within him these qualities of Bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya. How do these qualities express themselves in the world? It expresses in his behavior where there is no ego, there is no attachment. He is forgiving, he is at peace, he is full of compassion, ever united, doesn't have any greed, no agitations, no misery. These are the lakshanas by which you can recognize the saint, and therefore what you should do? Recognize that saint and be in his company. That's what he tells in the next verse and concludes the topic. Verse number 135. Dhari re mana sangati sajjanachi, jene vritti he palate durjanachi, bale bhava sadbuddhi sanmarga lage, महाक्रूरतो काल विक्राल भंगे. जय जय रघुवीर समर्थ. Therefore, O my mind, dhari re mana sangati sajjanachi. O mind, please be in company of Santa, Sajjana. Be in company of such good people. Jene vrittihi palate durjanachi. By which even of wicked people the thoughts change. Wicked people come in contact with saints for their own selfish purpose, but even then their thoughts start to change. It happens so many times. And therefore, he said, Bale bhava sadbuddhi sanmarga lage. Bale means against your will also it will happen. Even if you don't want any change in yourself, still you will be changed. Still you will be transformed. Bale bhava, sadbuddhi, you will get a good understanding, good thought. Sanmarga, you will walk path of good correct path you will get to do. Bale, even if you don't want, you will be forced to do that. That's the power of satsanga. Mahakrurato kala vikral bhange, and that dangerous death is there, no? Mahakrura, which is very cunning. Vikral, Mahabhayankar, dangerous. Bhange, even that will get destroyed. Isn't it? That is what will happen to you. O my mind, therefore, be in the company of wise, be in the company of good, noble people, be in the company of saints. Now here, little bit of overview has to come. See, so far, Samarth Ramdas Swami, from first verse till now 135, the main topic has been remembering Bhagavan, chanting his name, understanding that he will, save you, and remaining in the company of good. That has been the general topic of discussion so far. Actually speaking, first verse is Mangalacharana, so that is okay. From second verse to 27th verse, he has introduced the topic of bhakti, but he has given emphasis on sadachara. Right? He is also explained in that portion the rarity of human birth and how in human birth something remains incomplete, and therefore you add this devotion to God to make it complete. These are the topics that he has taken in verses 2 to 27, which broadly classified comes under Karma Yoga. Broadly classified. Why? Sadachara is explained. Also the devotion part is little bit explained, therefore. Now from verses 28 to 135, where we are at the moment, this entire portion is Bhakti Yoga, where the focus remained on Saguna Bhakti. Bhagavan Sri Rama's form and devotion unto that. So different things were explained. The importance of chanting his name, seeing how he has lived and imitating that, and all these points that we have seen so far, focusing on bhakti. Now, from next verse onwards, 136 up to 174, he will focus on Jnana Yoga, or what is called as Nirguna Bhakti. I was telling you earlier that Samarth Ramdas Swami is a great Vedantin. Now you will see all that Vedanta coming in. So far, through Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, he tried to explain how to train the mind and tune the mind. Now starts the topic of transformation of the mind. From 136 to 174. After that 175 till 201, the last portion will be to explain how to transcend that mind and go beyond. So, how that supreme reality is even beyond Saguna and Nirguna both, that kind of explanation will come. And of course, last 4 verses are for conclusion. So, this way the entire text is made. He starts with Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. You see, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, you cannot have clear-cut demarcation that, okay, this portion is Karma Yoga and this portion is Bhakti Yoga. Actually speaking, in Vedanta, no, Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga are one only. They are not two separate paths. Why? Because in both, there is God, devotion to God, and, dedication to God. That is there in both. If at all we have to create any kind of difference, then it will be in Karma Yoga, you do your duty as a worship. In Bhakti Yoga, you start to do certain actions specifically for God. That's the only difference. Otherwise, the aspect of devotion is common in both. Similarly, here also in this text, up to now, the topic of Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga is explained. From first verse till now, 135. And now, the portion of knowledge, Vedantic understanding, and how to transform the mind using that aspect, that is beginning. Okay, so this kind of understanding of the text also must come to all of us, right? So that is what is going to happen now. So now we are entering into little bit of Vedanta, the identification with the body, identification with mind, and how that is the main cause of our root cause of our sorrow. All those topics are going to come. I am not saying those have not come before, but they were hinted at. Now he is going to talk on them. Okay, so that is how the entire text is panned. So if you get a chance, please go through the section that we have just completed, because that completes one major portion of the text, right, where the important topics were focused on devotion unto Lord and around those topics. And you will also find some refrains are there, some repetitions are there. Mana Sajjana Raghavi Vasti Kije, and what is that? Nupekshi Kadara Madasa Bani, etc., etc. Some repetitions, some will be there, which will explain that that these are the verses conveying one single point. Tutevada Samvada Tohitakari, etc. So all these topics that we have completed so far were focused on this bhakti. And now we are entering into Jnana. Now please, again I repeat, Bhakti and Jnana as paths are different, not the goal. Bhakti Marga, Bhakti Yoga may be different from Jnana Marga or Jnana Yoga, but Bhakti and Jnana finally are one and the same. We have seen earlier also, Bhakti means love. Love means oneness, right? And Jnana means knowledge. Knowledge of what? Knowledge of oneness. So essentially Bhakti and Jnana at the culmination are one and the same. The Marga, the path, may be different. And why these different paths are there, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, etc. They are there because the mind composition, our internal composition is different. Everybody doesn't have the same balance of mind and intellect. Often it is said, when the body is predominant, when you are action oriented, you should do karma yoga. When your mind is predominant, you are emotionally oriented, you should go for bhakti yoga. And when your intellect is predominant, you are logic oriented, you should go for jnana yoga. And suppose all three are not working, you should go for ashtanga yoga. Why? Because by force you will be made to do all these things. So such kind of analysis has been done, and therefore why these different paths are there? Because we are different. And therefore nobody should say that I did not get any path. Why? Because no, it was not suitable for me. No. There are all kinds of paths. You can't say none of it is suitable for me. So karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, all three. And actually speaking, we have to do all three. We just now saw, train, tune, transform. All three we have to do with mind. Why? Because our mind is not that, strong in any one path. Therefore, we have to practice all three. And hence, in every text, in most of the texts, all three will be encouraged. Whether it is Bhagavad Gita, whether it is Vivek Chudamani, all the texts, they will encourage all paths. So too Manache Shlok. He gives emphasis on bhakti here. Bhakti is given that much emphasis. Why? Because that is finally the main point by which mind can be transformed. See, majority of the people are emotionally oriented. Let me put it like this. And therefore, when saints speak, they are speaking to common people. And therefore, their teaching will focus on devotion. The scriptures, Veda, Vedanta, Upanishad, Gita, etc. will focus on knowledge because they are meant for the intellectuals to go. Saints reach common people, and therefore they will always reach through devotion. Never we should have this kind of conflict in mind. Oh, Vedanta is telling like this, these saints are telling. They are not telling two different things. They are not telling two different things. But one is where people are reaching, and another is where they reach people. And when they are reaching people, they have to talk in common language. They have to address the common people, and majority of the common people are emotionally oriented. Therefore, devotion is shown as the path. Majority of them. Very few are intellectually so strong that they don't care about all these things. They don't care about this, and then they start to think about Vedanta. They start to study exclusively. That happens very, very rarely. And for such people, they will find their path on their own. We don't have to worry. Such people will go to Himalayas and find some guru and start to study Shankar Bhashya and Vedanta, etc. there. They will do it. For common people, for most of us, bhakti is shown as path. Why? Because we are not strong enough to give up everything and pursue knowledge. And therefore, most saints, just like Samarth Ramdas Swami, will focus on bhakti, but they will give all the paths. I hope you get this point. Bhagavan Shri Adi Shankaracharya ji has written 32 Prakarana Granthas approximately, and has written 100 stotras. You understand the difference? And his stotras are more popular than Prakarana Granthas. Why? Because they are meant for common people. The same saint, when gives differently according to the people in front. Therefore, when it has to go as common message to everyone, it will be the message of love, it will be the message of devotion. You see, Pujya Gurudev also, when he will give that message will always be of devotion. Surrender unto Narayana, he will say. He will not give message to people saying that there is only one supreme reality. No, that is okay for knowledge. He will keep it for that. For general public, devote yourself. And that is what Samarth Ramdas Swami has also done. Therefore, major portion of the text has gone in explaining devotion, why we should have devotion, how we should have, etc. Now, he starts the topic of knowledge. All right, I hope I have clarified. Now, what does he start with? What does he say? We will see that in next session. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om.